Yeah, I think okay.
Okay, the Premier League is well and truly back, and we have
doesn't change.
the script has not changed. And how about that? The first big shocking result of the season, I'd say definitely from a high profile perspective.
Yeah.
And I just need to just like ask you first and foremost. Going into this game, we know the record that City has against Tottenham. Did you feel like that was going to be prolonged just before this game was going in, with what you've seen from Tottenham so far?
No, honestly, I felt like City were gonna control this game and manage to like comfortably beat Tottenham.
Yeah.
Because we know Tottenham they've changed the manager to Thomas Frank, who has brought more solidarity. But I just felt like with City, the vein of form that have been on in terms of goal scoring, they would have been able to have a crack at Tottenham and manage to crack the defense. But it seems like different manager, same old Spurs versus Pep Guardiola.
Which is so weird. Man.
Yeah.
It's such a. This really has just been such a. I'd say like Vela, I've never seen Pep Guardiola just get absolutely every single time this team, the most Spurs, right?
Yeah.
You think it's Spurs, but when it comes to Man City, it doesn't really matter, and it's so amazing just because you watch the game and it wasn't even a fluke performance.
No.
They were on it from minute go. City, and the thing is, from the first game we watched against Wolves, and I think Wolves in the first 10-15 they had a couple of chances
Yes.
to really get at them, but City kind of grew into the game and they had an emphatic win. And I'm thinking, okay, City could be, building back into every first game week was saying, hey guys, let's be careful now.
Yeah.
They could be,
could be.
And I think this was a performance that really made us say why we initially didn't pip them as favorites.
Yeah.
Like outright. I'd say they will finish in the top 4, but you could tell a lot of the demons from last year were starting to creep themselves through in this game as well. I think credit to Spurs first and foremost.
Yeah.
I think pressing, they were absolutely on them.
They were hounding that defense. They knew that that's like a pressure point that they can go at.
And I think for the fact that another thing that I was also thinking about, the fact that from I think the first half mainly.
Yeah.
City, they had a few chances. City, I think Haaland had a few opportunities. Him and Mamouche, they were combining very well. And you're just thinking that okay, City are knocking on the door, but they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
But for me, the biggest thing, Tottenham made it difficult for them to build out a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because immediately you have Trafford on, which we will get to. Trafford is on the ball, passes it to Ruben Diaz. They already see Kudus running.
Yeah.
They already see Richarlison, and you have people who are they're runners.
Yeah.
And I think that engine you credit Ange Postecoglou. Those engines you credit that was Ange. We saw this at peak Ange last year. Same fixture. This was 4-0 to the away side. So we knew that okay. And Thomas Frank, he's a manager. He's very intensely be very you lose the ball, you hound, you press, defensive solidity, and just genuinely, bro, they really. And by the second half, I could just see that, okay, yeah, this is going to be one of those games. Obviously, halftime, Brennan Johnson, you already know, if he has a stinker, back post, sharp.
He's going to be there.
And I'm just thinking, I'm like, is this really just a thing of we need Rodri and we don't have Rodri?
No.
So now...
It's not. I think Patrice Evra touched on it. It's a bit of arrogance from Pep Guardiola's side, bro.
Okay.
The game is evolving, bro. You were the one evolving the game, but now the game is evolving around you. You must be the one playing catch up now. You're not the one setting the trends. And I think he's finding it really difficult to adjust to that, bro, right now. Because I think we mentioned in our preview that the Premier League is shying away from the possession-based football. It's creating sort of like a hybrid now, where they're the mixture of Klopp and Pep's playing styles now. Where high pressing, gegenpress, but with possession-based football. But now the main focus, we've always known that the Premier League is an intense league.
Very.
Physicality is number one there. But it seems like teams are saying, I know we won't beat Pep trying to play his way.
We need to
we need to adjust and find ways where we can like find loopholes in the system and playing out from the back. Simple, bro. Put pressure on the defenders. Knowing Pep, if Trafford tries to play that ball long, he's gonna get a scolding. Like, why did you do that?
Why did you do that?
Why didn't you try to play it out from the back? And it led to one of the goals that Tottenham scored. I think Yao Palina's goal.
Yao Palina's goal, it was and it was funny because it was just a thing of, it was a hospital pass.
Yeah.
It was literally just like, the game stayed, just like it was a kickoff. It was a goal kick.
Yeah.
And it was just a thing of, I pass it to you, and again, as soon as Trafford, the ball leaves his foot, pressing trigger. Richarlison, Kudus, and I think also they lost Ryan Nori, which was a very unfortunate, because now I think Ryan Nori, what he brings on the ball is very needed, and I think Nathan Ake just doesn't bring that. I think at the end of the day, he's a decent player, but what Ryan Nori brings to this team is that solidity, because you can tell that he's able to be very neat, and even when you're in trouble, he was able to. He's those types of players. So I feel like they lost that, which is funny because John Stones was there as well, but I think obviously that was just like an unfortunate thing where like it was just kind of like Tottenham took the opportunity and they saw the kill, and by that point it was just boom. That was the result.
Shout out to Papa Matesa for keeping Ryan Shekri quiet for the game, though, because it seems like it was a man marking job.
Yeah, it was. It
seemed like it was a man marking job.
You could really see him. He was not really able to impose himself.
Yeah.
And I think he got hooked by the 60th minute. By then he looked a bit leggy. I think obviously a lot has been said about like his physicality, if he'll be able to. I'd say that was just a game where you were just intentionally marked out of the game.
Yeah.
And that's just what it was. And
honestly, you have a big man up front, bro. Just put it there. Try to play out from there against Pep. To Pep, like, and he has to evolve now.
He has to, desperately. And now my question is to you, for both teams. I'm gonna ask you for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Does this mean anything? Do you think, obviously it's game 2?
Yeah.
This is very premature, but does this mean anything to you?
I think they've shown that, even in the PSG game, they've shown that against the best teams who will pin them back, they will be able to sustain that pressure and will be able to hit on the break. I think they have shown that in terms of big games this season. Expect Tottenham to collect points from those games. There will be 6-pointers. Liverpool versus Tottenham, City versus Tottenham, Arsenal versus Tottenham, United versus Tottenham. Those will be games where it could go either way, just because of the way that they set up against teams of that caliber. And also, I feel like it bodes well for their campaign to get back into Europe through league positions in terms of top 6. Right now, they look like, out of the top 4, they look like the team that's sure to finish 5th, right, at this point.
At this point in time.
Yeah.
Nothing more than that.
I don't think
no,
so.
I don't want to push it. I don't push it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I ask you for City, because I think for me, I'm looking at this performance and I'm just saying, City are not going to be bums. They will go through Crystal Palace, they'll wallop them 5-0, they do all of this. But these types of games, what happens now? If they play against Liverpool tomorrow, they play against an Arsenal, are they going to be able to show up these problems? Because those are the games where you really, obviously, a league is not decided by like just 5 fixtures. So let me just, and 10 fixtures overall in terms of the top 6. But you still need to win these games. Because who knows that by the time you get to May and you have to play like, a team like this. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I was not really confident. I was not given the confidence to say that this City team are formidable. I was watching the game and Jim Beglin says that one of the commentators, he was saying that this team doesn't look like the City that we know. They don't play with the swagger and arrogance of a team that have won 4 Premier Leagues in a row. This is not the team that we're used to. And I'm just thinking, they played well against Wolves, so I wouldn't say that's the case, but I just feel like it's just those little things that just they kind of need to work on. And obviously a bad home debut for James Trafford, who at this point has just been flying in terms of his career. That was just something that he'll want to forget that day. That performance as a whole, I think, besides that mistake, I'd say he was a bit shaky overall. I think he looked very shaky. And I don't know, for you, do you think it's just a thing of City will finish comfortably in the top 3 probably, but maybe might not?
I think definitely they can collect points up against anyone else in the league, bro.
No.
Right now, I just feel like it was just one of those games where like it's a bogey team, and I guess Spurs, they have their number, I guess.
No, credit to to Spurs, credit to Thomas Frank.
Yeah.
A person who has taken reasonably the same squad of players and just made them look so good in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Very excited to see how it pans out. But yeah, we just wanted to share our brief thoughts on that. But let us know what you guys think of the game itself, of just like how do you see City's season playing out. We'd love to hear from you guys. Yeah, but from ourselves here at the No Foul Plays Today, stay tuned in.
Go.